26 to 7, welcome to Robyn Conway, GM of Managed Funds at Fisher Funds, who is here to talk to us about what last week's OCR cut means for savers. Morena, lovely to have you on the program, Robyn.
Thank you.
Last week we were talking about mortgage rates and what the OCR cut meant for them, but this week we're going to talk about savers. So why should they be paying attention to what's going on with the OCR?
Yes, so before we talk about that, I would like just to acknowledge the impact that the OCR cut has had for many people around New Zealand. For a lot of people over the last few years, they have been dealing with quite tight budgets, and even for people who have been wanting to allocate additional funds to other financial goals, I think there's collectively been a sigh of relief for people. What's often not discussed is what that means from a savings perspective.
Yeah, so it's important for savers to understand that, right?
Yes, absolutely. So term deposits, we currently have around 208 billion in term deposits in New Zealand, so it's a significant amount of money. And term deposits absolutely have their place when it comes to being an option for savers. They are low risk, they offer certainty around the type of return that someone could expect to receive, and people are very much interested in that stability that they do provide. If we look, though, at what term deposit rates have been like, over the last 2 years, a one-year fixed term would have been receiving around 6%. That's currently sitting at 3.5%. So when you consider inflation also, it is a good time for people to consider what that's going to look like for them, because they will start to feel that impact.
So what should they be considering? What are the other options for those who like saving?
Yes. So in a low interest environment like we're in currently, it's always good to look at what your options are. People may look to consider something like a managed fund. So for those who aren't familiar with managed funds, they're very much like KiwiSaver in the respect that they're investing in areas such as cash, bonds, the share market. Unlike KiwiSaver, a managed fund is accessible whenever you would like to have access to it, and it's not got restrictions around what you can obviously spend your money on. People do need to be considerate with managed funds, however, because they are often invested in the share market, so they behave quite differently to a term deposit. In respect of returns from managed funds, there is a huge variability as to what you might get depending on what type of fund you're invested in, or even the provider that you choose to go with. So it's really important that you are speaking with an advisor around that. If we consider returns for managed funds, the average 5-year return for a balanced fund, as an example, after fees, would likely be returning around 5%. So if these types of things are of interest, then again, just reiterating to speak with an advisor and make sure that you're setting yourselves up appropriately.
Yeah, there is a lot to consider there, and you've said it a couple of times, right? Speaking to an advisor is key so that you know what the options are, and then can get some good advice on what next to do.
Yes, and look, New Zealanders are very good at going and seeing a mechanic when they've got a car issue, or seeing a doctor if they've got a health issue, but we often don't go and speak to financial advisors around our money. And money is very personal, and not everybody likes talking about it, but it's really important to speak with a professional, particularly if you are considering making a change to your savings or investments. And advisors are there to help guide you towards achieving your goals, making sure that that's within an appropriate time frame, and that most importantly you're taking on the right levels of risk to achieve those goals.
Also, you say that the advisor is there to guide you, because ultimately it's your decision, it's your money. It's not like if you go and see an advisor and you go, oh, I have to go with what they've said.
That's absolutely right.
They're giving you the information for you to make an informed decision, right?
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Very valuable.
Lovely to have you on the program. Robyn Conway, GM of Managed Funds.
Thank you
so much.